Hey Jay, are you ready? We're gonna be late. What the?
No, dude, you can't delete that. You can't have that footage. No, give that to me. Princess Peach. Pretty pink, prancing, powerful, polite, prestigious princess ponying the patriarchy. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. She's iconic. One of the best known female protagonists in gaming history. I mean, just look at Princess Peach DID Simulator released earlier this year. She's on the box art 4 times. 4! Talk about progressive development in video games. A female lead character?
Oh no, this can't be.
I could barely handle triangle tits over here, but now you're telling me there's another one? Well, mark my mushrooms, I'll be damned. Over 1 million copies sold, so what, that's 1.22 million copies at $60 USD? Oh, and don't forget the conversion rate, and that's about $56.5 million for a game centered around a blue-eyed blonde in a blouse. So what makes her so popular? Who is she? What's the fuss? What's the deal with Princess Peach? To find the answer, we'll need to explore the vast womanner of components that make up this gaming her story. And as to be expected, Peach's success begins with a man. Mario Jumpman Mario appeared alongside Peach in the Donkey Kong arcade game in 1981. And when you look at the three of them back then compared to now, well, that's one hell of a glow up. It's here that Mario really cemented his place as the jumpy platform hero man, and Peach as the damsel in distress. Because as we all know, you can't gain fame without copying someone else. This just goes to show, however, that as influential and well known as Peach is, she's still susceptible to receiving the hey girly treatment from the one who took her characterization from her before she even existed. But Peach is her. She ain't no cop-out copycat. Being abducted by gorillas is old school. Everyone knows the in thing is fire-breathing spiky-shelled turtles with big, hot, thick, scaly, veiny muscles. Because yes, considering this is a very female-centric video, I have pulled a fast one on you. I have eat hot chip and lie. This isn't Peach's first appearance, because that's not Peach. This legendary laudable luxury lass is lovably labelled Lady. Later, Lady led lashes of length and leveled up her legacy by becoming Pauline. Her character inspired Shigeru Miyamoto to create Peach, but they kinda split into two separate characters, because some people just don't appreciate blondes anymore for some reason. Our main maiden actually debuted in Super Mario Bros. For the NES in 1985, where she's kidnapped by Bowser, or King Koopa at the time, and Mario is tasked with rescuing her. Peach also was never always named Peach. Princess Toadstool was the name used outside of Japan, and she was never referred to as Peach until Yoshi's Safari in 1993. The kidnapping victim MO would eventually just become her staple characteristic with following Mario games like Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Bros. Galaxy, Mario, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Mario Odyssey. And yes, I know it sounds bad to have a list of games about as long as my casual KFC order, where a weak, vulnerable female must rely upon a mustached man to rescue her from the clutches of evil, but Peach will have her time to shine soon enough. This chapter is about Mario, because, you know, he's kind of important. He's the hero, Mr.
It's me, Mario! Woohoo!
And he beats the bad guy and he gets the girl. Or does he? Hey, T-Sauce, Jay here. What is your credit card number? Their relationship has always been confusing. They aren't exactly professing their love for each other across giant canyons like a Jeep commercial.
I bought a Jeep!
Like, she'll give him words of affirmation, or bake him a cake, or kiss him on the nose or the cheek, but the real question we're all asking is, are they fucking? Or is Bowser just the guy that she tells you not to worry about? I joke, of course. Mario and Peach are day one OTP. They're made for each other. Peach without Mario is like whiskey without my car keys. It just doesn't feel right. Take notes on how to treat your queen, fellas. Princess, I guess, because Mario has it figured out. This man is a gentleman of the highest degree. He's the kind of guy that would slow down right before the finish line just to see you excited about beating him in Mario Kart. And Peach, the only reason she calls out like that is because she trusts her man to save her. And rightly so. Mario hasn't given up his day job in 39 years. It's equivalent exchange. He clears her pipes and she clears his. My girlfriend and I are really cute together too. She even has playful nicknames for me like, "What are you doing in my house?" and "I'm calling the police." Oh, we have fun. And on that note, let's get into... Before we look into some other games, there are a few things we can assume about Peach from what we already know. She's a princess, and what do we know about princesses? They have an entourage of creepy, weird, prepubescent creatures following them around, or as they're otherwise referred to as Men. She exhibits typical characteristics of formality, regality, kindness, diplomacy, and pride. Something my dad hasn't felt for me since 2007. She rules the Mushroom Kingdom, and when she is captured, all the Toad citizens appear incredibly worried and beg Mario for his help. She's seen as a respectable leader that her people can look up to and concern themselves over her well-being. Peach is almost always donning her iconic poofy dress, which is so pink it would make pre-Kiss cosplay JoJo Siwa jealous. Both the colour pink and dresses are often associated with women, which are then further associated with beauty, compassion, and harmony. Pink is often used to convey something that you will never experience in your life, and Peach utilizes it well, using the heart shape in designs, effects, even attacks. The dress being as big as it is makes Peach walk like my friend who's just finished 27 chimichangas, but she somehow makes it look dainty, and that daintiness is further accentuated by her long white gloves. She's careful and meticulous, not tainting that which she touches. Unlike my uncle Ricky, who is very familiar with taints and touching. She has long, flowing blonde hair, well, most of the time, which is seen in many cultures as a sign of glamour, innocence, and desirability, characteristics that go hand in hand with a damsel in distress. But then again, if you look from the lens of just the Mario games I've already listed, you would think Peach is some kind of blank slate reward for the hero. But Peach has actually been making waves of her own accord all the way back in 1988 when she was a playable character in Super Mario Bros. 2. She really got kidnapped one time and said, okay, time to lock the fuck in and be a hero. She was given the special ability of being able to float for a short time, which she's kept as a unique trait of hers for years now. Urarok is a wannabe dude, don't at me. The act of the float can once again symbolize her daintiness. She grabs her dress with a few fingers, like how you'd expect a wealthy British woman to hold her cup of tea, and then she gently floats to the ground. The act of falling is often met with a comical landing or a superhero pose, but Peach takes a different approach to showcase her elegance. And speaking of games with Peach as a playable character, we can really learn a lot from Princess Toadstool's Castle Run. Okay, well no, we really can't, but I had to bring this up just once. It's the first game to feature Peach as the sole playable character, and it's one of 3 LCD games on an official Super Mario Bros. Watch sold as a McDonald's promotional item in 1990. Super Princess Peach is the next game to feature Peach as the sole playable character. Effectively, this game is a reversal of the damsel in distress trope. Peach must rescue Mario and Luigi, who have been kidnapped by Bowser. She's got a sidekick parasol named Perry because I guess having one object character wasn't enough. Now we've got super in the name, so our lavish lady must have some kind of superpower. And in this game, it's the power for Peach to control her emotions. Because, you know, women! Peach uses her vibe powers in relation to her vibe meter, and she must travel through levels to get to Vibe Island and retrieve the Vibe Scepter. We're so cooked, chat. To be fair, there's a lot of charm behind this game, extending to even the bottom screen with the different vibe abilities. The gameplay matches that of a typical Mario platformer, but Peach simply acts a little bit differently than Mario. Even in the way she attacks with Perry, her expression is more of an instead of a and now we're going to say yas, queen, because it's Princess Peach Showtime is the third installment to feature Peach as a sole playable character, with another inanimate object sidekick named Stella, who's basically like a ribbon, which I'm told by corporate is what's going to be used to strangle me if I make another women are objects joke. Her design in this game is noticeably different, even evident on the box art. Her face is rounder, her eyes are smaller, her nose is bigger. All of these changes I think make her look better and they offer the chance for more expression. It seems to have been a conscious decision by Nintendo to take advantage of the positive reception of the Mario movie to inspire the changes to the design.
Hello, I like money.
You can clearly see the resemblance. Showtime features a theatre as its main setting, where Peach acquires sparkles of up to 10 different costumes and abilities to complete levels and restore different plays. She reprises such roles as Elsa, Ariel, and Kitchen Resident. It's interesting to have Peach take the stage, so to speak, because we've never seen an acting side to her beforehand. Though she already likes to sing and dance, so why not elevate that to a triple threat? And while she is technically acting out these different roles, Princess Peach Showtime is a simple and effective way to showcase to kids, mainly little girls, that they can grow up to be whatever they want to be. Interestingly enough, you could extrapolate more meaning out of this in the fact that Peach actually loses her crown at the start of the game, perhaps symbolizing that you don't need to be anyone special to achieve what you want to achieve. Peach has been around for so long and is so recognizable and iconic and family friendly. friendly that it only makes sense to present her as a positive role model for young girls. Once again, Peach in this game can fight, puzzle and platform just as well as Mario can, but she highlights her femininity to distinguish herself. As Sword Fighter Peach, she performs more of an interpretive dance as opposed to cross slash. Figure Skater Peach emphasizes her flexibility and grace. Even as regular Peach, she still holds up her dress while she runs, because if she tripped and fell, that would be at least negative 10,000 aura points. I'll also say that using such unique costumes to showcase the different power-ups is far more effective with Peach than it would be with a male character. And that's because, and I'm certain this isn't an unpopular opinion, women's clothes and fashion are generally just more intricate and fascinating. It's the same reason why a lot of male gamers will still choose the female protagonist in Pokemon games, for example. I swear it's a speedrunning strategy, Mom! I mean, look at all the costumes in Odyssey. They're all pretty great, but they can't hold a candle to what's presented in Showtime. Now, I didn't really think of an effective segue into the next chapter. At the end of every castle level except for the last one in Super Mario Bros. For the NES, Mario rescues a Toad instead of Peach, and they always say, "Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle." Oh, you poor innocent sweet soul, Toad. If only you knew the half of how much our princess gets around. Here's a list of every single game that Peach has appeared in. No, don't worry, I can't read either. This video is not 16 hours long, unfortunately, so let me break it down for you. There's the karting series, where Peach drives pink flowery cars and is one of the only characters to wear appropriate motorbike attire. She's got some courses like Peach Gardens that show off her love for gardening, and Peach Beach because I don't fucking know. And they could have stopped there, but then they needed to do. But Mario Kart 8 in particular is really interesting because it presents you with an unthinkable paradox. What happens when you combine a feature that prevents you from crashing and a woman driver? I tried it out myself, and my game crashed. The sporting series starting with tennis, where she's still wearing that pink dress, but it's way shorter and much more suited to athletics. And the racket is pink, and any power or special shot she has involves hearts, sparkles, and pink. And how about golf? She must be really into that one because it has one of her very few full spoken sentences.
Adore golf. Want to play a round of 18 with me?
God, it's like nails on a chalkboard! She's also in soccer, it's called fucking soccer, and for some reason they really dialed up the sass in Strikers Charged. Basketball, because that needed to be a thing. Baseball, man that bat is pink. And who could forget the Olympics? Oh right, Nintendo could! Where the fuck is Paris? Our sparkling Senora was an original guest at the Mario TikTok Riz party, but she is just unfathomably lucky and fucking broken as shit. These games don't necessarily tell us much, but perhaps if you look really closely, you'll see that her custom dice block in Super Mario Party adds up to 20, and 2020 was the year that everyone wore masks, and masks are also worn at festivals, and almost every slice of life anime has a festival episode. And Super Mario Bros. The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach was an anime film released in 1986. And in the official art for that movie, Prince Haru, a man in a blue outfit and blonde hair, is Peach's fiancé. So that's it folks, Peach and Link are secretly lovers. Peach has been in Super Smash Bros. Since Melee on the GameCube, where she retains her iconic float, her pink parasol, and her gear! And of course, we can't forget about Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario, which do pretty great jobs of characterizing Peach through dialogue, because you know, they're not exactly abundant in the other games. She yaps and acts just about how you'd expect with everything we've covered so far, and then at some point she realizes that black is the new pink. Hey, remember that fully animated Mario movie made by the Minions people, where Mario is voiced by Chris Pratt, and Bowser as Jack Black? Well, they got Anya Taylor-Joy to voice Peach, and Nintendo and Illumination really shook up the designs on this one. Personally, I think the redesigns look great for the cinema, but man is that a millennial face if I've ever seen one. In particular, I think Peach looks gorgeous in her Fireflower costume or her motorbike outfit. This movie also portrayed Peach as far more independent, to the point where she is teaching Mario Jumpman Mario how to platform. But you know, I'll give it a pass for being in a different dimension or timeline or whatever. Movie Peach is definitely something quite different to the game's Peach. And don't get me wrong, I love Movie Peach, but she is not my princess in another castle. Oh, and don't get me started on the one-offs and cameos like Bejeweled, Dr. Peach, Tetris 99, Kirby Superstars, Hotel Mario, and I Am a Teacher, Super Mario Sweater. And speaking of knitting, we may as well talk about Female characters around the initial conception of gaming were underrepresented, and there was clearly a bias towards the men because video games as a whole had a much larger male audience. Which is odd, because I really thought Cat House Blues would have a larger female appeal, you know? I think it was well described by Virginia Barrett, who was a writer for the Australian Hyper magazine in 1994, when she stated that video games, quote, are made by boys for boys who play with other boys, and that girls rarely get a look in, unless of course there's a victim that needs to be rescued or someone needs to wear a bikini to cheer the macho men on. Which, while not wearing a bikini, you could argue that Peach fulfills this role in a lot of traditional Mario games. It wasn't really until Samus Aran from Metroid did we see a playable female character in a mainstream game. There were a fair few lesser known games with female leads, and then eventually we'd get to Tomb Raider with Lara Croft, because nothing screams great female representation than a mainstream sex symbol. And it's all well and dandy to have female lead characters in video games, but it's not simply about canonizing the gender of a character to achieve representation. The common sentiment is that women can do whatever men can do, and I'm not about to argue against that. The whole reason Samus Aran works so well is because many people were under the impression that she was a man until she was revealed not to be. In addition, I'd argue that the last thing you'd want if you're trying to implement feminine representation is to have your female character easily replaced by a male. It's a deliberate choice to make your character male or female. There's no default setting for that. Unless of course the carbon copy aspect is deliberate. Let me present a hypothetical platformer with 4 characters that are exactly the same. They don't have any lines, they all play the same, there's no story, there's no character interactions. All that differs is their design. Well then you may as well just randomize the gender of the characters because it doesn't matter either way. On the contrary, in The Last of Us, Ellie Williams is a girl, and the result is a compelling surrogate father-daughter relationship between herself and Joel, which would have been incredibly different had she been a boy or Joel been a woman. You couldn't simply swap their genders and keep everything else the same, because Joel exhibits masculine traits and behaviors and Ellie feminine ones, as men and women tend to do. I bring all this up to say that video game companies who may think that simply making their protagonist a strong, independent woman who don't need no man would be wrong in assuming that it's some kind of genius feminist play. And I only bring that up because I think Nintendo has done a great job with Princess Peach in that regard. Because this may be a hot take, but having overly feminine features, traits, and characteristics is okay. Peach likes baking, she likes flowers, she likes singing and dancing, she's very delicate, she probably played house with Barbie dolls growing up, and she loves the color pink. And all of that is okay. Some girls are just like Peach, and it doesn't mean that she's any less than any of the other male Mario characters. She can be a hero just like Mario, but where Mario floats through the air using a yellow cape, Peach does so with her poofy dress or her pink parasol. This isn't to put down other games with female character representation, it's simply to praise Nintendo for characterizing Peach in such a, for lack of a better word, girly girl way without having it come across as anti-feminist, which in itself is kinda ironic, considering the percentage of female managerial workers at Nintendo Japan is lower than my resting blood alcohol levels. And after all that, where does that leave Peach in her Peach has been described as one of the most influential video game characters of all time. She's appeared in almost every piece of Mario media from the very start. Her repeated abductions have become a running gag and pop culture reference.
Our princess, though, is in another castle.
Anya Taylor-Joy voiced her in an animated movie. Grimes and Elon Musk did an SNL skit as Peach and Wario, respectively. DeviantArt transformed Bowser into Big Titty Goth GF Peach. She's been an icon for females in video games since 1985, and she will continue to be iconic for the years to come. Peach rejected the proposal from not only Bowser, but also Mario at the end of Super Mario Odyssey, because her story does not require a man to have a happy ending or a bright future. Peach is her own woman. And you can get your own woman by clicking my link in the description. Mario, Luigi, and a Donkey Kong too. 1,000 troops of Koopas couldn't keep me from you. Princess Peach, at the end of the line, I'll make you mine. Oh, peaches, 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 I love you. Oh, peaches, peaches,